So, I want to talk about the Constitution. I want to know why we as black people feel the need to bring up the Constitution or the lawful way to go about doing anything in this country when the Constitution was written when our people or our ancestors were in shackles. Since the Constitution was written, they've made every amendment possible to, I guess, make it look to seem as though they are trying to give us an equal stand in this country. But, one of the amendments that they made was when slavery was so-called abolished. And at that point, it seems as though all of the amendments that were made were only basically like a front to make it look as though, but not actually so. In order to fully understand the Constitution itself or the amendments that were made to it, you have to understand the language that they used in it to get a full understanding of what has been done. According to the Constitution, we're not even human. And the Constitution was written for those that are human. We talk about everything that is supposed to be done lawful in this country, but this country wasn't found on anything legal. It was found on theft, rape, and genocide. And yet people are proud to serve this place. People ridicule you for not wanting to stand during the Pledge of Allegiance to give honor to a country that has done nothing but bad to us or to anyone that doesn't look like them. The Jews were given reparations for the Holocaust, and that was Hitler. America did what it did to our ancestors, yet there are no reparations for us. There are no reparations for us because in order to receive reparations, you have to have some form of nationality. All of these people know their nationality. What is ours? Another amendment was our emancipation. We were merely emancipated. We were not free. The loophole with emancipation is once you have been convicted of any offense, any unlawful offense, whether it be jaywalking, driving without a seatbelt, driving without insurance, driving without a license, speeding, all the way to murder, possession or distribution of a controlled substance, from something minor to something major, you are basically thrown back into slavery through the justice system or the injustice system. This country was founded on hate. It's run by a bunch of inferior people who are hell-bent on proving their so-called superiority. I cannot consider any being that cannot thrive and grow and be nourished by the sun superior to me. I'm solar powered. The sun kills them. They're weaker on every aspect. But somehow they have mentally programmed our people into believing that somehow we are the inferior beings in this country or even on this planet. Everything came from us. The first universities, math, science, spirituality. And yet we've let these people come in and take over every aspect of everything that we've created and then use it to prove our so-called inferiority. How is it that a people that make up the majority of the people on the entire planet are inferior? How is it a people that all other people derive from inferior on this planet? Why are we hell-bent on following the rules of inferior people who use their rules to bring our downfall? How is it that here in America, blacks are the minority, but in the prison systems, black are the majority? The injustice system is ran by fraudulent people. Yet we're hell-bent on following these rules that they have set by the land. The religion that they gave to our ancestors during slavery was modern-day Christianity. And they conveniently wrote into this book that you are to abide the law of the land, abide by the law of the land. But the law of the land only means to bring forth your downfall, your death, your imprisonment. Gentrification is real. They blackball us out of different neighborhoods, out of different schools, out of different jobs, out of different industries. And only if you take a stand for what you know is right and just. As long as you stay silent, your silence is you're condoning what's going on. The same way I feel about every white person who claims that they're not racist, every cop that claims that they're not racist, or claims that they're not a bad cop. If this is true, then why are you not marching right alongside us? And why are you helping to cover up the mess that your brothers in arms have made? You know about this. And you do nothing and you say nothing. And so they like to say you can't put us all in one box. You can't put all cops in one box. All cops aren't bad cops. You can't put all white people in one box. All white people aren't racist. But when I look around, there's very few that are actually on our side. Not everyone that's out there marching with you is for you. Some of them are just there to infiltrate and get in amongst your groups and hear what your plans are and what you're going to try to do to make a change, and then the next thing you know, you're dead or you're locked up for some bogus charge that some shit, you're having evidence planted on you. All of this is known about, and yet these people are silent about it, and silence is condoning. So if you condone it, you're no better than the people that are actually doing the evil deed. Same goes for black people. We know that this law was not written for us. This Constitution was not written to include us. Yet we're hell-bent on making sure that everything we do is to abide by it. What good is it doing our people? Your silence and choosing to go along with and to abide by a constitution that only means to bring forth our downfall and our genocide is your condoning the injustices. I'm just trying to get a better understanding as to why. What good is it doing for you? I know some of you are comfortable at your job, but all it takes is a phone call and you're gone. Kaepernick chose to sit. He didn't make any abrasive comments. He didn't say anything negative. All he did was not stand to honor a country and a flag that has done nothing for our people but rape, murder, and do everything to bring us down. When crack was introduced into the black communities, it was they're horrible, they're terrible thugs, they're drug addicts, they're waste of human space. But now that the heroin epidemic and prescription drug epidemic has hit the country, all of a sudden it's a mental illness and these people need help. And you see treatment centers popping up left and right. New York considered a law that would allow the building of safe injection sites. This is a safe place for these people to use a completely illegal drug so that in the event that they overdose, help is nearby. When crack hit our communities, they did not consider safe smoking sites. I need everyone to see it for what it is. We weren't meant to be here. Our role here was only meant to be as slaves. If we're not going to be slaves, then we have no reason being here, and that's why they're killing us. That's why they're locking us away. It's legalized slavery. The prison systems and the jails are supposed to be government and federal run establishments. We have people who have nothing to do with politics at all building prisons and then making money for every person that they have housed in these said prisons. And this is completely legal. One of the owners of these said prisons, when Trump was initially elected, and they were trying to figure out an affordable way to get this wall built between America and Mexico, one of the owners of these prisons offered his prisoners, at his prison, his prisoners, offered them up for free labor to get the wall built. How is this not legalized slavery? Yet the same government and constitution that allows people to build slave camps will hide my husband for missing one payment on child support. He misses one payment. He goes to court. I don't get to see him for 6 months. Never mind his other children. Never mind the household that he's leaving behind. The law says if he misses a payment, lock him up so that he can't make any money and he can only be put further behind, so that we can keep him in this system longer. Because the further behind you are, the longer it takes you to get caught up, the longer it takes you to pay it off. This is why they need so many prisons, because the rules and the laws that they set forth for us are only for us to fail and only for us to wind up there. When you run out of room in the federally run and government run prisons and jails, then you have to have people that are privatizing these establishments and making money off of them. This is legalized slavery. And yet, my people are hell-bent on following and abiding by the laws of the land that was never meant. Those laws were never meant for us. Because when those laws were made, when those rules were made, when the laws of the land were set forth, we were in shackles and we were slaves. We were being whipped. We were being beaten. We were being raped. We were being castrated. We were being publicly lynched in front of our wives and our children and our families. We had Massa and his wife, children, suckling on our breasts. We raised their children. The same children that when they got old enough turned around and spit on us. But my people are hell-bent on conforming to, following the rules, and abiding by the law set forth in the Constitution, written when our ancestors were enslaved by this country after being kidnapped from our homeland. Then they label us less than human, strip us of our nationality so that they don't have to pay reparations. And my people are hell-bent on protecting, abiding by the laws set forth in the fuck-ass Constitution. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Because you haven't been personally affected by it yet, it means not shit? My son has watched his dad pulled out of the car, pulled out of the house, gun drawn, handcuffed, and taken away because he missed one payment on child support for a son that is now 20 years old and taking care of his damn self. Why is it necessary to pull a gun to collect fucking child support? Why is it necessary to even lock someone up for fucking child support? How is that going to help? How is that going to help him pay off his rears? How is that going to help him take care of the family that he has at home at this point? It's not, and it's not meant to. It's meant to keep you behind so they can keep you on probation, so that they can keep you racking up lawyers' fees and court fees, and it takes you longer to pay it off, and they can keep you on probation longer. And the second you miss a payment or have one bad month and you're locked up. How are we supposed to get a footing when every year we're starting fucking over? And these pale devils walk around and act like the shit doesn't exist. They're born with silver spoons in their mouth. White privilege follows them everywhere they go. They get safe injection sites and rehab for being drug addicts, and we get jail time and murdered. And yet my people are hell fucking bent on abiding by the law set forth in the Constitution for this land that we built on our fucking backs. So what's your reason? Why are you hell bent on allowing pale people like this, weak, sickly, solar immune, cave beast to consider themselves superior to you? I was watching a video earlier of Red Pill, and he said it would be painful. Anything that you're trying to do, if it involves the tearing down or the rebirth of something, it's going to be painful. Childbirth is painful. One of the most beautiful experiences I could ever say I've experienced in my life. But my God, was it fucking painful. Would I trade it for the world? No. Will the rebirth of this country be extremely fucking painful? Hell yeah. Will there be bloodshed? Fuck yeah. Will there be lives lost? Better get ready. But what's waiting on the other side is something so fucking beautiful. It's time for a change in power. And it starts with tearing this motherfucker down. If it means burning every fucking state in this country to the ground. And that's what it takes. That's what it's going to fucking take. Then that's what it's going to fucking take. And that's what we have to do in order to create the rebirth of this nation in the way things are meant to be. How can immigrants come here and then tell other immigrants who cannot be here? How can immigrants come here and claim all the land and then tell the people who were here originally, here, you can have this piece? How can immigrants who came here go to another land, kidnap a group of people, have them build up the land because they're too weak to enslave these people, beat these people, kill these people? All on a land that they stole from another people. And these are the people who made these laws that we have to abide by, a bunch of thieves and murderers and fucking rapists and pedophiles. We have got to fucking wake up.